So this morning's session will concentrate on the exhibit side of things. We are in the world where the event will take place. And I'm going to walk around and show you some of the things that you can see. So bear in mind that the world we're in right now is not us. There may be other people in the world. It doesn't look as if there actually is anybody in this area, though there are other people in the world. So whatever we change, we put back so that people can do whatever they need to do later on. So you're looking at the world. A few things to let you know. You're looking at the back of me. Down in here in the left-hand corner, I could turn my microphone on and talk to people. And I have a chat area where I can type things to talk to people if I want to do that. But most of you will want to do real voice communications so that you can actually talk with people. I'll leave my mic off on in the world right now because I have it set so that you can hear me on Zoom. So you can see under the Allegiant logos up here is actually the entrance to the expo hall. These things here where my mouse is moving, these are posters that we can put information up, and Rain and Aim will be filling in all the information there about things. So let's walk over to the exhibit hall. You'll see that I have my mouse controls a picture of a person. If I put where I want to go and I click, bad click, there we go. I can walk wherever I need to go. I can also use my cursor keys to walk forward and look in the hall. So here is the hall. This is how it's set up for the people that are here right now. Mostly this is demo things, I think, looking at it. So there doesn't look as if there's anybody in here because it hasn't changed in several days. But you can come in here, you know where your booth will be, and you can set up accordingly. So what you're looking at in front of you right now are 4 single booths. So those of you that have got single booths, that's what your booth will look like. Over here is a double booth. So we'll come back to that one in a minute and we'll play with things so that you can see what's going on. And if I go over here to the Allegiant booth, this is a quad, and you can see what's involved with that. So there's a big banner at the top. There's a wall of posters here. There's another logo there. They've got a private area set up. You see anywhere that has these blue lines, they enclose a private.
Steve, just to let you know, a delay.
Is there a delay? Is it a bad delay?
It's better now.
Okay. Don't think I can help fix it, but there you go. So best thing is you've all got audio today, so shout out if there are some problems and I'll try and deal with them. So if we walk around the other side of the Allegiant booth, you can see the other side. They've got another area set up for speaking, and another big display board and one over here that you can also change. So we're going to walk back to the AIM booth and I will show you how to set some things up. Okay. So in here now.
Hey, Steve, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Thank you. So if you don't really kind of know where people's booths are and you don't really want to navigate walking around with your avatar, can you just somehow go in there and say, take me to booth XYZ?
No. What you can do, there are two ways you can navigate. So as far as going directly to a booth, you can't do that. Outside of the hall, there will be a map of the exhibit hall with all of the exhibitors listed showing where they are. And that will also be available in the mobile app that you will all have access to showing where everyone is as well. So you'll be able to see very quickly where they are, and you can walk directly to them. If you know a particular person is here, you can go straight to them. So up here, you can see in the top left-hand corner, it says go to, and it lists my name. That's because I'm the only person in here right now, though there are other users in the world. And I'll show you that in just a second. But you could click on me. No, sorry. Oh, so remember how to do this. It's difficult when I'm the only person here. If there was another name here, I could click on that person and go to that person. But without another name, I can't do it.
Steve, would you like Mike to hop on and join you there?
Sure.
Okay. Mike, can you do that, please?
Mike, I'm not in the main expo area. I'm in the one that you have to take the ferry to.
Okay. I'll be in a moment.
Okay.
I have
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I have a question here about communicating with people. So let's say I'm standing where you are standing now, and that's my booth.
Yep.
I'm out in a public area, so anybody can communicate with me, and I can communicate with such a person who's also in the public area. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it works a lot like the real world. When you're up close, you'll hear people clearly. If there's somebody talking who's a distance away from you, you may not hear them at all, or you may hear them very faintly.
Okay.
So you need to be, like in real life, you need to be within a few feet of each other.
Okay. And then the next part of that question is, so I start communicating with somebody, and then we both move our avatars inside the blue line, and now we're in a private conversation.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And you'll find that there are lots of other private areas, and I'll show you some before we leave the world. So up here on the right-hand side, I clicked on the gears. I can find users. So this will locate who else is in the world. And you can see Mike is there. He's just come into the campus, and I could send him a private message. And there are some other people who I don't know anything about. Actually, I do know one or two of the names that are there. They are event farm people. So you can always look for people in the world and navigate straight to them. You'll see Mike hasn't appeared up here yet because he's not in my room. So that is a limitation. You've got to be within a certain area to appear up here, and you'll see when Mike arrives, he'll appear up here in the top left-hand corner. Just while we're looking at these things, there are other things that you can do. So obviously, if I click on my name, I can do things like raising my hands, I can clap, I can shake hands, I can show other expressions, I can wave. So, and you see now Mike has appeared in the room. So there are things that you can do as around. There are various dances you can do as well if you're so inclined. Yes, I'm not going to click on any of those. So let's go back to the world. So I walked into the private room. It tells me I'm in the private room. Hi, Mike. Oh. So turn my mic on. Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
That's good. So Mike's actually talking over the Zoom rather than the world because you didn't see a speech bubble appear over his head. I'm going to turn my microphone off in here so that we don't end up getting any strange feedbacks or anything else. So here in this area, as I said, this is a double booth. So you'll see I can hover over all of these things and it comes up with right click to change. So let's change this one up here to start with. So we right click on it. It wants an image from a URL. That URL can be on your desk. You can browse your computer to upload something. So if I click here, it brings up, so I can pick a logo and So there, I changed the AIM logo to a Rain Alliance logo. If I want to, I can add a URL. So I've typed the URL of Rain Alliance, and you see as I hover over it now, it says click to open link. So if I clicked it, it would open a browser and take me to the URL that I had put there. So this is useful for lots of things for you. I'm sure you can think of lots of things to do. But one of the things that you might want to do, and Mike, if you sidestep so that we can look at the thing you're standing in front of.
You have a spec for how large the file can be for these
So
uploads?
if I could look at this one, I could update this. I could put a graphics image that says, "We're not here now. Click to leave your information." You could fill out, create a form on your own website, link it to it so that people could click here and get taken straight to a form to give you information as to why they visited your booth, what their name is, what their email is, whatever else you want to collect. This gives you a way to collect information from people who visit while you're not there. So one of the things that we have said is that the exhibit is only being manned between certain hours. I believe those hours are 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and 3:30 to 5, I think it is.
And those are Eastern times?
Those are all Eastern times. So you're only required to be on your booth during those times.
And Steve, if I can interrupt real quick, someone had asked a question about the file size. And there was a specifications document that was sent out about a week and a half ago to all the exhibitors. And it actually outlines the size parameters for each of these type of areas. If you
Right.
did not receive it, this is Mary Lou, please email me and I'll send you a copy.
Right. So what Mary Lou said was really important because you'll need to know what size you can update these things to. In fact, most of them will take almost any size, but then they will resize them to the correct size for the area. So you will do better if you use the correct size to start with, because then you won't be relying on the world rescaling you and causing artifacts or whatever from scaling it. You can see some of the jaggies on this one because I didn't put it in at the right size. I just did whatever size it was it would take.
So you said something about linking to a gated page on your website or some such, something like that. What about a video if you don't want the video to be the only thing that you show? I mean,
Yep.
Okay.
So
I read
you
something
can-
about
you
a
can-
PowerPoint presentation.
Right, so you can do anything that you want. If we look at this one, for example, I'm having trouble clicking off of where I was. There we go. Oh, where's my mouse gone? There we are. So for some reason, I can't update this one. I don't understand whether I'm just not close enough or... No, for some reason, I can't update that one.
You've played around in this a bit, and we haven't had an opportunity to. And I know that the 7th and the 8th, I believe, are when the dates that this will be open for us. What kind of technical support, or if there are any questions about the tool, who do we contact for that?
So there will be technical support available to you. That on the days that we have specified, there will be staff people in there with you, and we will have technical support available if there are problems. I know that they're doing work on the world right now, getting it ready for us. I was told in our world, anyway, this is not our world. This is there are 4 or 5 of these, that they were updating and doing things to get it ready for us. So I assume that some of these issues will have been gone. Yeah, I don't know why I can't update that one, but I can do this one over here. So if I click on this one, you can see that this has been uploaded, this picture, and I can launch a browser, as I said, if I want to. I could just as easily upload a PowerPoint or a video itself into the system so that when somebody comes in, the video will play.
Now, Steve, in your lower right-hand corner, there is the URL. So that image may simply be a website. So you can change that website. Do you see it?
I do,
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
Well, let's see if that's what the issue here is.
Yeah, it'd be helpful if we could see the experience the user has if it's in a PowerPoint. I mean, do they scroll through the PowerPoint? What's the...
No, that's a good question. Yes, so it was simply the URL on the bottom right. Thank you, Mary Lou. I'd forgotten that's how it's. So this one is a browser that is up here, and you can put in whatever you want on the browser. With a PowerPoint, it's a little bit different. Let me just.
And Steve, if you go over a little bit to the right, you can see where you can upload something.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking on my desk for something that's small enough to upload reasonably quickly. All right, let's try that one. So what we'll do is we'll go back into the world again here. We'll click on this. We'll go down to the bottom right-hand corner here and upload a file. And we'll go to desktop. So this takes a few minutes. And obviously, the bigger the file you're uploading, the longer it will take. But once it's done, it's done. You can go and change it at any time. But of course, you will have to re-upload. You can see it's doing some sort of converting. It's taking a PowerPoint, a typical PPTX PowerPoint, and uploading it into the format that it will use there.
Can I ask about videos?
Please.
Yeah, so so in the spec sheet that was emailed, I'm sure the video size is and perimeters and specs are in that spec sheet. And when you upload it on here, does it automatically play when someone comes into your booth?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And does it repeat?
Does it repeat? Yes, it repeats if you have uploaded it, yes. So now in front of you, you can see the PowerPoint that I've just uploaded. If I left click on it, it will change slides. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the PowerPoint, there's a forward and a back. So they can scroll through the PowerPoint.
Okay. But if you have a link to a video within the PowerPoint, then that's not going to be like they can't click on something.
No, they can't do that.
Okay.
So, and you can.
Can you have a video on YouTube and embed that link?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to, you know, if it's a big video, large video, then we won't have to load it because it might not load. Right?
Yeah, so in the sheets you've got, there are details of the maximum sizes of files and so forth. Videos, if you upload a video, it gets converted to WebM format. So you're better actually to upload it as WebM than you are to do MP4 or any of these other formats, video formats. But if you put a URL to a YouTube, you can certainly play the YouTube video direct on the screen. Now, having said that, when I was in the world on Thursday last week, we found a problem with YouTube videos. So I have asked support to help fix the problem, and I'm assuming it will be fixed before we get in. So the problem was that when the YouTube video ended for a person, it didn't always just stop. Sometimes it seemed to go and pick up another random YouTube video, much as if you were watching YouTube on your desktop. Sometimes at the end of a video, it moves on to the next one. And I wasn't able to prevent it from doing that, but I'm assuming that they'll fix that before we get in the world. Other questions?
So
Is
Steve,
there audio for the videos?
So there'll be audio for the videos, yes.
so Steve, if there's 3 or 4 people in the booth there, would they all be in the way? Because your head is kind of blocking the screen. So if the next guy comes along with his avatar,
Yeah.
are you going to be blocking the screen? Like when Mike was in there, he was blocking something. So at some point,
Yes.
if there's 2 or 3 in there, you won't be able to see the wall.
So the answer is yes, but up the top of the PowerPoint here, you see a couple of buttons. So one of them is zoom in on this screen. So I can set it so that I look direct at the screen without seeing any anything in between. So if I go, so now I can watch the slideshow at my own speed.
Steve, are we also doing another session like this for the attendees? Because they need to be aware of these.
The attendees
steps,
won't
right?
get an individual session like this, but they will get access to videos and instructions and things that will help them use the world.
Okay, thanks.
So, but speakers and exhibitors all have the sessions that we're doing. We're doing another session tomorrow for speakers, which will focus on how to control the auditorium. If any of you have got questions at any time, you're welcome to ping Mary Lou and we'll set up another visit for you to come in. On the days that you're given full access to our version of the world, there will be staff people in there all the time to help you to do whatever you need to do to set up. The key here to remember is you can upload images, PowerPoints, web links to the boards that are there. But if you want to prevent yourself from missing someone, you need to create something that will go in and allow you to collect their information. The system as it stands today cannot do that. What we were told was that it's being worked on, but they couldn't guarantee whether it would be available in time for our event. So if the lead collection system becomes available, obviously we will make it available to all of you and we'll tell you how to use it. But in order to make sure that you don't miss anything, you need to create a form on your website or on a website that captures whatever information you want from people when you are not there. Now, I told you that it's only open, the only time we recommend you be here will be those certain hours. However, the area is available 24/7, so people could walk in at any time, including the middle of the night, as far as we're concerned. So I recommend you have a way of allowing people to contact you and leave their information. And you can change if you want to do it. And you want to, let's say this Rain Alliance logo takes me to a web form, but during the time that I'm in the booth, I wanted to do something else. You can do that because you can go in and you can right click and you can change it as to where it's going to go at any time. So you can set it up when you leave to do something different from what it's doing while you're here. So you've seen that there are 4 areas on this double booth that you can put things in. You've got your company name one up here, and you've got a big screen with either a PowerPoint or a web page or on here. You could also put a static image if you chose. Other questions?
What is the icon on that one reception desk all about? Is that
So
just
it's just another word for whatever you want. You can put whatever you want here. It's suggesting an image URL. So let's see what we can do. slightly different format. I'll put the vertical one in, open. And there you see it's appeared. And again, I can have it launch a browser link if I want to. So you've got these two, both will typically be your logo. It could easily, just as easily be a message. It could say, click here to leave details for us to contact you. You'll see that my cursor has just changed to a paintbrush. So if your colors are not dark blue, let's say there you go. I can change it to any color.
How did you get that? Did you right click?
So as I was hovering over blue color, on these icons here, you see I'm just hovering and it says change booth color, right click. So I just right clicked, it brought up the color wheel. You can change everything to green. There you go.
Gives you an RGB, right? So you can put in something specific to your company if you have that.
Yep. So
Or,
I can edit this one if I want.
Okay.
Steve, how did you find Mike, or did Mike find you in that instance?
Mike found me. We should have clicked on him while he was there, but he's walked off. But yeah, so he found me. He came to me. As I said, I could click on his name and do a go to him if that was what I was looking for. So let me get.
And that has to be a person. It can't be a booth. It can't be.
Can't be a booth, but you can do up here in the go-tos. I can go to the auditoriums, the classrooms. Not all of these things will be in our world. You can come directly to the expo hall and you'll be dropped off where we started this session. You can also go to the beach or to the music venue or wherever else. So when you come in, you're going to come into the welcome area, and then you find your way. You can either navigate straight to the auditorium or straight to the expo hall. So let's look at a single. So you've got less things you can do here on a single one. We can obviously change the booth color. You could add a URL or an image or a PowerPoint to these two areas. And here we have bigger image where you could add a browser or browser link or a YouTube link or an image or whatever you want to do here. So that's the two smaller sizes. And you can see that the big one has basically the same sort of area things. It has areas where you can post images. It has big screens, and it has this big banner at the top. So one of the things I wanted to show you just quickly. So we're outside now, outside of the main area. And you'll find there are places I could sit here on this bench if I wanted to. But more to the point is over here in the corner, you can see some seating with blue circles around it. Over here on the left, you'll find more seating with blue circles. And over here on the right, you'll find tables with seating and blue circles. The blue circles means they're private areas. So if you or one of your colleagues wants to go out and talk to a prospective customer and it's too busy in the booth, you can come outside here and find an area and sit down and talk together. I'm going to take you for a quick walk around, and I apologize. I'm told that if you're not controlling, it can be a little disorienting to watch people moving around.
And Steve, while you're moving around, I did want to address just a few items that seem to be frequently asked among staff.
Okay, go ahead.
One is the app. In the specifications document, there is a link to an online form where you guys can update who's the primary point of contact, your website, all your social media links, your company description. And there's probably about a dozen different items, and that will be on the phone app. And the phone app will give more details about your company. As I mentioned, what your social media accounts are and so forth. And using the phone app, the attendees can also get in touch with you right away, if not in the booth, but they can get in touch with you that way as well. So if you haven't already done so, and I have one company that has, please complete that information. Because the staff is going to start building the content for the app in the next couple weeks. And Steve, you want me just to go to the expo hall, correct?
Yeah, go to the expo hall and then go up the stairs on the far right.
Can you control the speed at which you're walking?
Yes, there is
Yes.
a way to run.
Does it count your steps for you?
Yeah. Oops, hang on. I don't know why I did that. Let's see. Keep going up. Okay, Steve, I'm overhead now. Do you want me to go down to the rain booth? Are you there, Steve? Oop, he's coming back in.
Okay. So if you look over the glass wall there, Mary Lou, so you can see the layout of the. Oh, you're in the main hall. Okay, so it looks a bit different from where we were just now.
Oh, how do I
That's
get
all
to the
right.
other
No,
place?
no, no, no.
You
Stay
sure?
there. Stay there. Stay
Okay.
there. It's the same, basically the same.
Mhm.
So walk right up to the glass wall if you can. There you go. So you can see single booths, quad booths. As Mary Lou looks around, there's some doubles over on the right-hand side. So you can see the different size booths. This is what the area is going to look like. You'll see that there are some seating areas. There's one right in front of Mary Lou at the far wall. You can see a seating area with a blue circle around it. So there are areas inside the hall to go and sit and talk to people if you want to as well. So you can get an idea of what the exhibit hall is going to look like. One of the things that Mary Lou sent out was I think a map of where everybody is. But as I said earlier, that will be included on the front of the exhibit hall so everyone can see it as they walk in, and it will be in the mobile app as well.
And Mary Lou, can you fly? Can you click on that meeting area and go to it?
I don't think
No.
so. I think I have to. Okay, now it's going to take me.
If you click it, it's going to make her walk all the way around.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just thinking if you're kind of looking for a place to meet and you see one, you
So
want
you
to
see there's lots
grab
up
it.
here too. You see all the areas to her left.
Uh-huh.
I need to deviate from the path of going down to the
Yes.
hall.
So one of the attendees, an exhibitor, you guys can just walk up to one of these meeting areas and have a conversation.
Yes.
And then if
Anybody
somebody
can
else,
walk into one. And now anybody outside of that blue circle can't hear you.
No, I've noticed that you've got a lock button on there. Is that to prevent people from entering into that space? And now it's gone.
Where did you see? I don't see a lock button.
There was a little lock there as soon as she walked into the circle. There, I see a
Oh, so no,
Oh.
that's yeah, okay. So that's if you hit your space bar, you can then use your mouse to look around the area.
But you're locking your avatar.
Yeah. So there
So
are
that's
some private rooms available. If you want to have set up a series of private meetings, there are some private rooms available. I think we put them on the price list. And you can lock the door on those so that people can't come in.
But in all these open areas, you would only hear the people in the blue circle if it was you and one of your guests. But a third party could essentially walk in and interrupt that, even accidentally.
They could walk into the area. You would know they had walked inside the area, and you could ask them to leave. But yes, that's correct what you said. They could walk in, but nobody from outside of the blue circle can hear anything that's said inside the blue circle.
And Steve, getting back to Kevin's question about the hours that this will be open, I think he was asking that the show is on the 9th and the 10th.
Yes.
But on the 8th or the 7th, we're going to be having access to getting in there and fixing up our booth the way we want it. Will true attendees have access to the hall on the 5th, 6th, 7th?
So the answer is they will be given entry starting on the Monday. We will be emailing out the links for them to get in and start setting up their avatar and going in. So I can't prevent them from coming in, but they will be told that the booths will not be open or manned until the 9th and 10th. So that's Wednesday. So it's the 7th. The 7th is when we will be emailing out the links to get them into the world. You will have yours before that as an exhibitor or sponsor so that you can get in before that. But that will be the first time they will be allowed to enter the world. But once they've got their link, they can get in at any time they want to, in the same way that we're going in now.
When will the exhibitors get the link and be able to start setting up then? Before the 7th?
You will get your links. I think it's on Friday. I have to go back and check with the people. So we will be emailing out the links on the Friday.
Okay.
For you. But then staff will be in there on Monday and Tuesday to help you do setup and answer any questions with support and so forth on Monday and Tuesday.
But even though you've instructed the attendees that the booths will not be staffed on the 7th and the 8th, you're saying they can walk in, but if we didn't have all of our booths set up completely on the 7th, they could see what would be an incomplete booth.
Yes.
So is that just a chance that we have to take, I guess?
I have no way of turning it off. I mean,
Right.
we could delay sending out the entrance until late on the 7th, I guess. But people will need some time to go in and set up their avatars and come into the world and check that they can get access. Based on experience, there will be a small percentage of people who will have problems getting in the world. It seems to be a fact of life. So obviously we want to be able to provide them with technical support to make sure they can get in and attend the presentations and everything as well. So we can't wait until the 9th to let them have first access.
Understandable.
Also, if you all get your login information on the 4th, you may find that it's very user-friendly and you're able to update your booth information.
I just have a question. Is it possible to get it earlier? Because we are in Europe and it's already 6 o'clock here. So if you send it in the afternoon or in the morning in America, we will only get it in the evening.
So that's controlled by the company that runs the system, unfortunately. And they give us a couple of days before our event, access for a couple of days before the event starts, and that's it.
Okay.
So if we, as I said to you earlier, we are not in the space where our actual event will take place. We are in an open area that anybody can walk into. So that means that all those changes I made downstairs, they won't be there when we go into our event. So I can't give you access to the main area until they send us the links to do that. And the contract says that we have 2 days before the event. So we'll have to wait and see exactly when they give it to us. Okay. It all depends on who else they've sold the space to before us. So we have 2 days before and 2 days afterwards. But if someone has been sold leading up to those 2 days, then they will have the access to the event, not us.
Okay, I understand. And I just have one other question. Steve, for example, you are on your booth and I want to talk to you, but you are already talking to Mary Lou, for example. How do I get your attention then that I want to talk to you?
So, that's a good question. So you can obviously walk over to my booth and you can come inside the blue area.
Mhm.
I think most of us will be watching very closely who comes in and talking to them to make sure that we're paying attention to who's coming in. But you could always do, Mary Lou's just clicked on it, so you could raise your hand, you could share, you could do things, and that makes you more noticeable. But you can speak too. If your microphone is on, as soon as you enter that blue area, you can speak. So Mary Lou's braver than I am. I don't do sambas.
Steve, I did have one question. To the right, if we just have a single link and image available to us, do we embed, if we want to connect to our website, do we embed that connection within our image or a PowerPoint presentation?
No.
Is
Okay,
that
good question. No. So, Mary Lou, can you click on the image in front of, right click on it? And can you bring, I'm not seeing, I'm guessing you see, the world you're in, you probably don't have admin rights, do you? Try right clicking, Mary Lou. No, because you didn't enter the exhibit area that I was in. You do apparently. There you go. So briefly, Mary Lou. Ooh. There we go. So down there in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that there's a link place popped up. So you can put your URL in there to go direct to a web page. You probably shouldn't change anything here, Mary Lou.
I'm not sure if you hear the music playing or not.
No, we do not.
It's from Dirty Dancing. That's why I'm laughing.
That's great.
So Steve, if everything goes well, then there'll be some on the 9th, there'll be some speaking in the morning, and then at 11 o'clock, the expo hall will open up and we'll expect a flood of folks coming in.
Then the next speaker sessions will start at, I think it's 1:30, it might be 1 o'clock. So you will have the people in the hall for several hours, and then they will probably all disappear again back to go to presentations. And then when those presentations are done, you'll have them back in the hall for another couple of hours, and then there are more presentations or repeats of presentations last thing in the afternoon.
And booth staff can go to the presentations as well?
Yes, absolutely.
I have a question about the presenter. So we have a speaking engagement and we have two presenters who will be running that presentation, but they will not be a part of our booth staff. How are they going to be registered?
Same way as your booth staff will be, all of the speakers will be registered for free through the system so that they will have access. And then they will be able to, when they're on stage, they can access their PowerPoints and so forth from on stage.
Perfect.
And we'll go through that tomorrow in the webinar tomorrow.
And so if there's, let's say, 2 booth staff, and then there's 3 people walk up, everybody can hear each other talking, right?
Correct.
So it's not like you're talking to one person in the booth and somebody else is talking to somebody else. It's the 4 of you are talking.
If you're on a single or a double, that's the best you can do. If you're on the quad, you can have private areas inside of your booth where you could walk to.
Okay. So then if you were in a single, you could say, if it's, sorry, it's too noisy here, let's step over to the, like over on the left-hand side where those 2 chairs are with the blue area.
Yep, you can do that.
And then you're going to have to kind of describe that to somebody. You can't say, let's go to meeting area 6 or, whatever.
Nope, you're right. But you could say, at the front of the hall here, there's some seating areas on either side. Let's go to the left-hand one. Or you could say, let's go out of the area. There's a whole bunch of tables out there. Meet me at the table out there. And
you guys can actually walk together. You
Yeah.
can say, hey, follow me.
Interesting.
Hey, Steve, I have a question for you.
Oh.
If I come up to your booth and you're talking to Mary Lou, can I click on you and send you a private chat and say, hey, I'd love to talk when you're finished or something like
Yes.
that?
Yes. So down there in the bottom, you can see next to the mic is off. It says public. You can also do, if you clicked on my name, and I'm trying to join the area right now so that I can join Mary Lou and show you. You'll be able to click on my name and send a private message to me. So everyone will know who you are because you can see above Mary Lou's head, it has her name. And it will have your company information as well. I'm trying to get into the world, but I think my computer must be having some problems here today. Okay, there we go. So I can go to, sorry.
How much of a deluge are we expecting? Are there going to be 50 people? Or are there going to be 800 people? Do we have any idea of how many registered people there's going to be and how many?
As of right now, I think the registration is somewhere around the 50 mark. I can tell you that we are hoping for 250 people. I know that sounds like a lot more than the 50 it is right now, but I can tell you that traditionally we don't get people very quickly. Most people sign up in the last 2 weeks. So I've just entered the picture you're looking at now. So you can see me. I have my company name above. I can click on Mary Lou and send a private chat, and it should appear down in the bottom. So you can see that there's a new message from Steve H. Hi there. So people can do that to talk to you, or if Mary Lou and I had our microphones on, we could actually physically talk to each other. So what that does with Zoom running at the same time is very strange sometimes, so I didn't want to do it.
But only if you're in the blue area. So both of you are not in the blue area right now.
No, we can talk to each other now. Whether we're close enough to talk, I don't know. Let's try turning our microphones on. And I am talking, and you can see, yeah, you saw, there you go. So there's a white message, a white bubble above my head. So Mary Lou should be able to hear me. Can you respond, Mary Lou?
Hello,
Oops, sorry. There you go.
There, yep.
I had my Zoom mute on, so that was the problem.
And see, I'm hearing a massive echo from you because you've got Zoom and
Correct.
the world on. So we can talk quite happily here, but we would hear other people. If there were other people in the world, we would hear them if they were close enough to us.
So then what's the point of the blue?
The point of the blue, the point of the blue area is a more private one-on-one discussion versus out here in the public area, you'll hear the background noise from everything else. When you're in the blue area, like in the booth, you're just going to hear what's in the booth.
So I've moved away from Mary Lou, and I am talking. Just turn 180 degrees, Mary Lou. So you can see me. I've moved away. I don't know how well Mary Lou can hear me because I'm quite far away.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
So I'll move back some more and keep talking and see what.
Yeah, it's getting more distant.
So it'll get more distant. So you're only really going to be able to pay attention to someone that's reasonably close to you.
Question on that. Is there directionality to the audio? You can press that space bar and rotate your avatar. So does it
So I'm
matter?
talking now, Mary Lou. Can you hear me faintly or not?
A little, yes.
So the answer is no, Chris.
Okay.
And so if Mary Lou and Steve are out in the aisle having a chat, once we step into the blue area in the booth, then their chat will go away. You
Yeah.
can
So
only
here's
hear
what I'm
what
going to
someone-
do. So you can let me come. There you go. So Mary Lou, talk to me now.
Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
So it's the voice sounds different because you're now only hearing Mary Lou talking through the Zoom, not through the world. So I can't hear what she's saying, and I'm not sure that she can hear me. And in fact, I know she can't hear me through the world.
No,
She can
I
hear me on the
can't.
Zoom.
Hmm.
You see above when I'm
You're-
talking, you see above my head, there's a white dotted line. That means that I'm on the edges of being able to be heard in the world.
Mm.
Oh, away. If I come a lot closer, but don't step in the room. There. You can now see I've still got, you know that I'm talking, but you can't hear me because I'm not in the
Great.
world.
Mhm.
Now, if I step in the world,
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
now you can hear me and I can hear you, and we've gone all echoey again.
And it's a blue bubble because it's in the world, whereas in the hallway it was a white bubble.
Well, it's a blue world because blue bubble because it means that she can hear me.
Oh, okay.
It goes from a blue bubble, it'll go to a white bubble when we're too far apart, or really to the dotted bubble where you can't hear. So it gives you an idea of
Okay.
how close you are.
Steve, one small question. You typed in the bar, "Hi there." How do you know that you were talking to Mary Lou and not to
Oh, so
somebody else?
up here in the top, see Mary Lou can click on me.
Yes.
Mary Lou, can you click on me? No, that's you. Okay, so it says send
Okay.
private chat.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so she and it says Steve Halliday send Steve Halliday a private message.
Okay.
So now she can enter a message to me and it will pop up the same way mine did for her. So now I have a tab that says Mary Lou and I can go and look at it.
And if you clicked on somebody's name that was up there and you wanted to go find them because you don't know where their booth is or you don't feel like walking around, it'll just take you straight to that
You can
person.
do go to, yeah. So let me,
Actually, Steve, you can't go to a person.
yes, you can.
Oh,
So
okay. I
I'm going
just
to
learned
move away.
something.
Just a second. I'm going to move away. All right. So I have gone. If you go up to my name, click on my name, Mary Lou,
Got it.
you can go to me and it takes you straight to me.
And Kevin, there's a way to run. I forget how to do that.
Okay.
You hold the shifts, hold the
You probably have to pull up the
shift
scribble a
key
bit.
down.
Yeah.
So if you had your name and your name was Kevin Bradshaw Denso and somebody wanted to go find Denso,
Yep.
or if I put my name Denso Kevin Bradshaw and they wanted to go find the Denso booth, they could see me because it's going to be alphabetical or something.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, if you're in the booth, and that's how they would get to your booth if you're in the booth.
Yeah, they can either walk around and look for my booth or they can just go to.
Correct.
Okay.
And then on the 4th of December, we also have to create our own avatar, right?
You do. So
Okay.
Mary Lou can show you that, or I can share and show you that, whichever you want to do, Mary Lou. Yep. So you go into change avatar. When you first go in, it will take you straight into this section. And now you can pick body shapes, you can pick clothing, the men, all the women, I guess, can pick mustaches, glasses, whatever it is you want to pick. I think you can even pick earrings, I think, somewhere.
Yeah.
And you can change all the colors and So then it becomes up to you whether you want to do something representative of you in real life, or if you want to do something crazy.
Can you also put the logo of the company on your shirts or something?
No, you can't do that. That was a question I had and asked them, and apparently that's not available at this time.
Okay, okay.
But there may be a way around that, and I'm working with them to find out if there's a way that we can do that. There is a badging system, and I'm trying to find out if we can have badges, individually badges for everybody, or whether everybody has to have the Engage Again logo on it.
But your name, when you put your name in there, your company will be there just like you had Rain.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So it's maybe not on your shirt, but it's
It'll be above your head all the time. Yes.
Hey, Steve, if you're talking to somebody, is there a way to easily share your contact information with them?
Not that I know of. I'm writing that one down as a question to find out.
And then the mobile app you were referencing before, what's the name of that?
The company that puts it out is called Cvent. The mobile app is called Crowd Compass. Let me see if.
Because I could still access yours from February, Steve, the Rain app.
Yes, that was what I was trying to show everybody.
Oh, you want me to stop sharing?
No. Yes. Why don't you do that? Let's see if I can turn my video on and show you.
Now I can see you.
Okay. So if you can see me, hopefully, this is the Crowd Compass app. I know this is not ideal to look at, and I can see the reflections from the screen. But there's lots of options in here as to what you can do. One of them is, this one is sponsors. It will be exhibitors when we do the new one. You can then click on, so for example, Confidex was our gold sponsor at that event. And there's contact information here so that you can, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing this or not. What I'm looking at, I can see all sorts of reflections. So there is contact information. They can send an email direct from the map. You can send them to your LinkedIn page. They can bookmark you. They can do all sorts of things in the app. So as well as having that, you can look at the full schedule. You can review speakers. There'll be a full list of attendees. So for example, I don't know if this is the attendee list from our February meeting that we held. That's the Bs. It's a full alphabetical listing. And you can send somebody directly a message from inside of the app. You can set up a meeting. You can do all of those things from inside of the app. And the app does lots of things. It was designed originally for face-to-face meetings, obviously. So there's all sorts of spaces for us to put about where we are and how you log into the Wi-Fi and where the bathrooms are and so forth, which obviously we're not going to use in this one, because I think you probably all know where your bathrooms are.
So for that phone app, is it one link per company, or can everybody get a link and have that app?
Everybody who is registered, whether you're paid or free, you will get this app. And the goal is to have it go out next week.
Okay, so the app has not gone out to the exhibitors.
No, it has not. Not gone to anybody. The app has not gone to anybody. We're still populating it. We're still waiting for all of the exhibitors to provide their information so that we can populate the app with all of your information.
And that's what Mary Lou will send out to all of us.
That's correct.
Make sure that we have the required information. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Steve, we just received a chat. Someone wants to know about the avatar and who has rights to be in the booth, who has rights, how do you distinguish between speakers and exhibitor staff?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that one.
Actually, I thought that we don't.
I think you're probably right, but I know that Gabrielle was talking about badges, so I need to find out what the badges do and what extra information they might have on them. Okay, anybody else got any questions? So email Mary Lou or me if you've got questions. We'll try and find the answers for you as quickly as we can. But you will be getting some more things in by email very, very soon to give you more information. And if you didn't already get the sizes and everything, it will include the sizes for all the different screens that you can populate. And
And
I'll answer the questions that we couldn't answer today. I'll get answers for.
that info is going to
And
include how to move your man around and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's an introductory video. We're going to make that available very soon to everybody so that you can learn how to navigate around the world, how to go to the different places. And as soon as we can give you access to the world, you're welcome, as I've said, you're welcome to go in and explore.
So just one point of clarification, and I know that this was covered, but truly the opportunities for lead capture, lead gen, that sort of thing are having a conversation with someone while they are in your booth, or having them fill out a form if there's no one at the booth. There are no other opportunities for.
At this moment, there are no other opportunities.
Okay.
That I hope will change before we get to our dates, but at the moment, that's what I have to say. You will, of course, have the mobile app has everybody's contact information in it, assuming that they will share it. They have the option to turn off for privacy reasons if they want to. But you will have the mobile app with everybody who's registered with all their contact information in it.
Hey, Steve, if I'm in my own booth, and is there a way for people to tell that I'm a member of that company for that booth so they don't think I'm another visitor in the booth? If that makes sense.
Your identification that floats above your head will have your company name written on it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So reach out if you've got questions. We will try and answer them as quickly as we can. If any of you need specifically to go into the world again, let us know and we'll do another thing. Mary Lou recorded all of this, so the recording will be up and available for you to watch after it's been downloaded and edited and so forth, so that we can make it as useful as possible. So thanks everybody for attending. Mary Lou, do you have anything else?
I do not. Thank you so very much. We look forward to working with you and we appreciate your support.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.